Good morning. I call this hearing to order. Today we're going to be considering the nomination of 4 individuals to serve as assistant administrators of the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency and 1 individual to serve as a member of the Nuclear Regulatory Commission, the NRC. First, I'm going to address the 4 nominees before us today to be assistant administrators of the EPA. Each one is a well-qualified and individual who will bring a wealth of experience and expertise to a critically important role in protecting America's public health and safety. I applaud the President's nomination of such accomplished Americans and dedicated public servants. President Trump has nominated Michael Dourson to lead the EPA's Office of Chemical Safety and Pollution Prevention. The Office of Chemical Safety and Pollution Prevention protects the American people and the environment from potential risks posed by pesticides and toxic chemicals. Dr. James Clonig, who has served on numerous EPA scientific advisory panels, stated of Dr. Dourson, quote, "Dr. Dourson is a leader in the field of risk assessment. He has been instrumental in bringing scientists of different disciplines and representing different constituents together to address current and future approaches to the risks of humans to exogenous chemicals." President Trump also nominated Matthew Leopold to lead the EPA's Office of the General Counsel. The Office of General Counsel serves as the EPA's chief legal advisor. John Crudden, the former Obama Justice Department Assistant Attorney General, said this of Mr. Leopold, quote, "He is committed to the rule of law and can be counted on to give sound and candid advice to EPA decision makers." President Trump nominated David Ross to lead EPA's Office of Water. The Office of Water ensures drinking water is safe. The office also restores and maintains oceans, watersheds, and their aquatic ecosystems to protect human health, to support economic and recreational activities, and to provide healthy habitat for fish, wildlife, and plants. Todd Parfit, the director of Wyoming's Department of Environmental Quality, said this of Mr. Ross. He said, "Mr. Ross possesses the necessary tools to effectively and appropriately oversee EPA's water program in a fair, balanced, and practical way." When we get to the witness introductions, I'll be introducing Mr. Ross, and we'll say more about his accomplishments and the time he spent in the state of Wyoming. President Trump also nominated William Wehrum to lead the EPA's Office of Air and Radiation. The Office of Air and Radiation develops national programs, policies, and regulations for controlling air pollution and radiation exposure. Former environmental Obama Justice official John Crudden said this of Mr. Wehrum, "I believe he is committed to achieving clean air for all citizens and carefully following sound and current science." I believe we must act quickly to confirm all these EPA nominees so the agency will be even better prepared to protect human health and the environment, enforce our environmental laws, and respond effectively when disaster strikes. It is deeply unfortunate that blind opposition to all of this administration EPA nominees, including the well-respected Susan Bodine to be EPA's enforcement chief, has stalled the confirmation process. Susan was reported in July and has been held up by the minority ever since. I want to be clear. The EPA's Office of Enforcement and Compliance Assurance, the office whose vital mission is to hold polluters accountable, is without a confirmed leader. It's without its confirmed leader because the minority feels compelled to block all nominees to the EPA, regardless of all the pollution and environmental needs of our communities, including those communities struggling to recover from the hurricanes that have ravaged our shores. A primary complaint of the minority that they cite is that blocking all nominees to the EPA is that the EPA is not being responsive to minorities' oversight requests. The EPA has already sent the minority over 2,800 pages in response to its seemingly never-ending requests. And I have those responses here. 2,800 pages, and these are printed on both sides of the pages throughout. (2,800 pages in response to its seemingly never-ending requests of the minority, these from the EPA, claiming the EPA is not responsive as an excuse for not confirming important nominees does not pass the smell test. Now, I regret that I can't strike the same positive note that I have for the EPA nominees for the nomination of Jeffery Baran to serve on another term as member of the Nuclear Regulatory Commission. Mr. Baran is currently on the NRC, and through his term, though his term does not expire until June of 2018, he's been nominated at the request of the Senate Democrats. Senate Democrats have refused to advance the nominations of Annie Caputo and David Wright to the NRC until Commissioner Baran is confirmed to a new 5-year term. Let me be clear. Mr. Baran's nomination is a big ask. Mr. Baran has been nominated for a term that is effectively 3 years longer than the term for which Mr. Wright has been nominated and 2 years longer than the term for which Mrs. Caputo has been nominated. If Mr. Baran is confirmed, his term would outlast those of all Republican nominees to the NRC, including Chairman Savinicki. In December of 2014, the last time the Senate confirmed Mr. Baran, only one Republican voted in favor of his confirmation. I, along with many Republicans on this committee, have voted against his nomination on 6 separate occasions. Since then, Commissioner Baran has given me little reason to reconsider my vote. I hope this hearing gives us an opportunity to hear from Commissioner Baran and get more clarity regarding his record at the NRC. I will now turn to the ranking member for his statement. Thank you, Senator Carper.